Jesus. See our churches and the that want to show you under construction. Don't come in again with your. The Lord sent me to anoint over Israel. Look up and look at me. Whatever you are, God made you what you are. Time and again, we forget that we are not what we are by our efforts. I will even shock you when I say to you that it is the supernatural that determines the natural. That you're a pretty girl, that you are smashingly pretty and gorgeously pretty, that you're mesmerizingly pretty does not guarantee a good marriage. There are so many girls who are pretty, but who are married to men who have no respect nor value for them. The Bible said, except the Lord one time. That you're educated does not grant a good job. There are men who are educated but who are hopelessly and wretchedly and stupidly and gracelessly poor. That you come from a great family does not guarantee success. There are people looking at me now. The name of their parents mocks them. Have you ever seen a poor man whose father was rich, but he has no house of his own? Except the Lord prospers you, there's no guarantee you'll enjoy success. Well, I know you will say to me, there are unbelievers who are rich, but why don't you wait until they die? You see how people will fight over their wealth. Am I correct? God said to Saul, I made you what you are. One thing I will never forget in my life is that miracles cannot happen in my ministry until God has spoken to me, telling me, Oma, I'm going to heal the blind. I'm going to heal the lame. Unless I hear that voice, I do not talk about miracles. People said to me, hey, ask God to heal every cripple here. That's not how God operates. Some people even make me laugh when they come to me and they say, hey, speak into my life. Speak success into my life. So women say, speak twins into my life. I don't have such authority. Only when God says, this woman shall have a child each year from now henceforth. That's when I'll say it. If you're looking at me and you're a pretty woman, a pretty girl, do you know you did not make yourself pretty? God made you pretty. There are 4 things that will make a woman pretty. Okay, I don't want to shout. My voice is my bank account. A woman's, the shape of your lips, the shape of your nose, the shape of your cheeks, the luminous density of your eyes, and the luminous density of your teeth. They combine to determine your beauty. Therefore, if you're beautiful, don't get carried away, don't get arrogant. It is God that made you beautiful. There is nobody here who chose his parents. Anybody? No. God made that choice. When people come bragging, my father is a commissioner of granola and biscuits. It is God who made it possible. So God said to Saul, I made you what you are. I don't even know how many of you know that the money in your hand was given to you by God. And the one you need tomorrow will come from God. So when you hold on to it, you are being stupid. Can we see the book of Proverbs chapter 11, verse 24 and verse 25? Let's be fast.
There is
he that scattereth. Wait. When we call for offering, one of the reasons why I don't like to call for offering is that many of us are reluctant to give. But only in giving will you prosper. Read on, sir.
And yet increase it.
There are people who scatter. Every given chance they will give offering. The Bible says they increase. In chapter 29 of the book of Job, from verse 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Job said, I gave to 1, I gave to 2, I gave to 3, I gave to 4, I gave to 5, and I prospered. What does that mean? Can we read it now? I want to. God gives it to those who love. Because our commitment to God. Why? He knows that your commitment to God determines God's commitment to you. Satan said, why do you want to give so much money? Don't give. Give nothing. They say if you give now, the pastor will spend the money. They make me laugh. People like me, I'm not on salary. I'm not on allowance. I even do not take offering. When I finish preaching here, I refuse to accept offering. Why? To serve God free of charge is to obligate God to supply all your financial needs. Look up and look at me. Don't get carried away. Madam, hey, that's the... Satan says, you can go and serve God, but don't be committed. And when I speak of commitment, it's amazing that somebody can be in a service like this and I will still be looking for one girl or another. You are only committing suicide. As long as you come here in search of girls, you can't rise up as a great child of God. You can't. The unfortunate thing is that pretty girls always coming into town. So if you run after them, you spend the rest of your life running after them. Read on.
And Moses said, behold, I go out from thee, and I will entreat the Lord that the swarms of...
No. Go to chapter 10, we take verse 11. Be fast. We don't have time.
Not
Be
so.
fast. Not so.
Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Lord.
And serve the Lord. Let the women and the children stay. Look up and look at me. Every man that has a child must give the child an offering to give every day that child comes to church. If you do that, that child will grow up to be financially powerful. Any woman that says to her husband, give me an offering, that woman will one day be a great woman. It holds that which is right. You are declaring your life a life for poverty. It is not how hard you work that determines how much you get. It is God that decides it. Every time we come to church, women pretend you don't have offering. You don't have to have offering to give offering. Ask your husband to give you offering. Beg anybody to give you offering. Make sure you don't come to God's presence empty-handed. We were not called by God to live a life of poverty. I'll show you from the Bible that every child of God that practices what the Bible teaches shall have more money than he or she can ever need. I am an example. How do I get my money? I am not on salary. If I want this fellowship to give me money, they'll give me money. During our last convention, we generated about 30 million naira. If I ask for one, they'll give me. But no, I don't have to. For bringing me into this world and keeping me alive, I would like to save him by saving you. And the rest will be his. Time and again, people call me and say, God, a woman called me from Port Harcourt today to say, did I hear your birthday was yesterday? I will have paid you money into your account for your birthday celebration. Madam, we didn't celebrate anything. She said, well, I have sent the money already. You can throw it away or you can spend it. I didn't ask her to give me money. A man called me and said, God asked me to give you 2G. No, he said, God asked me to drive you when next to him in Lagos. You, I know you're a rich man. Why would a rich man drive me? Will you be a good driver? He laughed. Flew to Lagos. He drove me to a car showroom. What are we doing here? He said, the same God who asked me to drive you asked me to give you 2 jeeps. My wife has banned me, stopped me from getting more cars. So let's not pick any of these. He said, no, tell your wife this is God's command. One of them sounded too costly for me. I said, what will people say? He said, let them say what they want to say. This car must go, these 2 vehicles must go home with you to you. You don't have to drive them. I'll send them to you for you. Who touched his heart? It was God. Who asked him to provide the God? Sometimes in our foolishness, we refuse to obey the word of God. Can we turn to the book of Exodus chapter 25, verse 1, 2, 3. Let's be fast. Somebody help us. Yes, sir.
And the Lord spake unto Moses,
and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying,
speak to the children of
speak
Israel,
to the children of Israel,
that they bring me
that they bring me what?
An offering.
Everybody say it. Say it louder. Can God ask people to give him an offering? Yes. He is teaching us how to be selfless. How to be selfless. When God says, give me your tithe, it is to teach you how to save money. No man who cannot save money that will ever be rich. You must learn how to save and how to invest money and how to generate money to be a rich man. When I married my wife newly, so if I bought 50 plots, then how should I now? So money, yes, it's money. So, and of chapter 3, and take verse 21 and verse 22 of the book of Exodus. What does it say of the Egyptians? It shall come to pass when you go, you will not go empty-handed. Right where you are this night, heaven has declared that if you're a faithful child of God, God will not allow you to reach it. In 1976, my mother came to you and said, I saw you with a new car, Avenger. I didn't know a preacher could buy a car. That means you are in money. My business has just broken down. Can you give me part of this your money to build up my business again? Ma, I don't have money anywhere in the world. But I'll tell God this night, tomorrow morning he'll give me money, I'll give you the money. She asked me, can I shut up my stupid mouth? My wife, she said, you're sounding like God lives in this house. Ma, he lives there. We even had a chat this morning. She asked me, haven't you got mental? Not everybody is allowed to speak into your life. A man who does not know the secrets and principles of God must not be allowed to speak into your life. Or you'll be as hopelessly and wretchedly and stupidly poor as he is. In 1978, my mother sent for my wife and I. My mother was the spokeswoman. She said, when you appear on, I was the first man to buy airtime east of the Niger in Channel 6 Aba. She said, when people see you preach and laugh with your bulging stomach and your fat cheeks, they conclude you have money. They don't know you are as poor as a church rat. Ma, why? She said, you don't have a house in this village. Is that all? She said, yes. Come on, take it easy on me, ma. I'll tell God this night, tomorrow morning, he'll give me money, which I'll pass on to you to start buying land. She said, you confuse me. Does God live in your house? I said, ma, he does. Everyone listening to me, you must come to a place where God is real to you. To be a nominal Christian is to commit suicide. That night, my wife and I prayed. By the way, is my wife here? Is she here? She has raised her hand. She's here. Give her a good clap from somebody. 6 a.m.